All right,
Yeah, man.
we're live.
Yeah.
Maybe turn that on. Hear our awesome intro music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Another week.
welcome to the show, everybody. It's Friday the what third, I think.
Third, yeah. Friday the 3rd.
Friday the third.
Outside where it's very cold. It's very cold.
Where we are, it's really, really cold.
Yeah.
So if you're watching from somewhere warm, a big to you.
And then you can subscribe and send us more.
Yeah. Yeah. So, before you watch our fantastic content here, click the subscribe button if you like us and you want to see more of us. We will be doing our shows on Fridays at 7 o'clock. Hopefully sharp, if you know that's what we're aiming for. So if not, it'll be shortly after. We'll let you know if we're not doing a show. We're gonna be posting our live show schedule on our channel, along with the schedule as far as when we're gonna be putting videos, short clips of our live uh, podcast, as well as maybe some other different videos if we see it fit to put those on our site. But mostly it's going to be shorter clips of the live podcast. So let's get started right away.
Yeah, something cool happened.
Yeah.
Like a little nod from the universe, I
Yeah.
guess you can call it.
Yeah.
So let's play. This is a clip from, oh, well,
My
actually,
best friend. I mean,
first,
everyone knows that Joe and I are real tight. We're friends. Not real life,
yeah,
but yeah.
let me watch for that. Uh, this is a clip from Joe Rogan's not most recent podcast, actually. He's posted a lot of podcasts, but the recent one with Lex Friedman last week, I think. I don't know the day.
This week, actually, I think it
Was
was
it this?
earlier this week.
I
Yeah.
guess it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this week, earlier this week is last week to me now. This is kind of neat, like a little nod from the universe. So we're gonna play this.
This idea of what is and isn't meaningful is trivial, and it's only a consequence of our monkey brains trying to grasp for reason. And that once we've transcended that and moved into this next stage of evolution, which we would hope they are, we would realize how foolish these primal notions that we had, and what the purpose they served was just to get us to the dance, just to figure out the computers, figure out all the technology, and then let us transcend to the next stage of existence.
That's literally, pretty much, perfectly summed up the entire meaning behind the term "transcend the monkey,"
That's right. That's right.
coined by me.
You know what? I got a man crush on Joe. I just think he's so awesome. So it's cool to see him be the one that says something like that.
Hmm.
I'm really happy about that. It was funny because there's actually a clip going. I don't know if it's going viral, but probably of some fighter, a UFC fighter girl.
Hmm.
I can't remember her name is, but when he goes over to announce her as the winner, she goes, "Oh my God, Joe Rogan!" And she's like, she kind of steals the show a little. Then she ends up jumping in his arms, and he carries her over. So
That's funny.
it's a really cool.
Actual USC fight winner,
Yeah, yeah,
because Joe interviews them.
yeah. So I can imagine now, like for some, especially for some of these small time UFC or up and coming UFC fighters, they're like, a bit
Yeah.
starstruck when they see Joe Rogan, right?
Oh yeah.
Especially if they're a big fan, actually a big fan, which it's hard not to be. I mean, look how many people are fans of Joe Rogan.
Hmm.
I, I would venture to say it's 30% of the population
Fans?
are fans in
That's
some way, like
that's big.
in a very tiny way up to a big way. I would venture to say that. And then I would say probably he would kind of play with maybe over half of the population, like where they would be like, okay, yeah, I can kind of agree with him and such. Like he's very much
Well,
a uh, a good modern, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. Those numbers are not.
Well, listen, fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure they exist.
Yeah. Polling data.
Some polls.
Polling data is out there.
Tell us in the comments what you think about Joe Rogan. Put in there and say what you think, and we'll debate you.
Only if we disagree.
Yeah, yeah. We'll debate you if we agree too.
I guess.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah. So that's how we wanted to start with this.
It's a neat sort of little homage to it. We can go into our second sort of topic,
Yeah.
topical topic that's been going on.
Our next topic right here.
This is this is irritating to me. This whole trend That's
So
going
should we
on
just
here.
play
Yeah.
the first?
So this is not a criticism of her. It's a discussion on the real
small
world
clip
consequences
from
of all
Temple's show earlier.
the clout chasing. Let me play for you this video, and it is kind of sad. It's kind of sad. So she's trying to squat. I don't know what is that. Is that like 80 pounds or something? I can't tell. Oh, she actually does. She does. She gets it. She's going for it again, and then I think, and now she can't. Uh-oh. Nope. Can't get it. And like really, that's it. There's like two guys over here, and you'll see her. She just like looks over. Excuse me. Nope. Ain't looking. Not falling for it. Not falling for it, dude. Excuse me. No, I don't blame these guys. I'm not falling for it either. Okay, I'm not falling for it. Look, I'm going to mind my own business. I'm not going to look. I'm going to do my thing, because the last thing anybody wants is for one of these women who are clout chasing to film you, and then the real reason they're saying excuse me is because they're going to complain about something you did. It's unfortunate. And then what ends up happening is she sits there, she says, excuse me, oh my goodness. And then some woman just starts lifting and like ignoring her. People are walking past, nobody's helping her. And then finally, here, let's play the last part of it. 20 seconds. She says, hey. And then this woman puts the weight back. I think she then asks, can you help me?
You think you can help me out over here?
You think you can help me out over here? Yeah, yeah. And then another woman comes over and lifts, and they put it back, and she's good. I want to make sure I stress this point. This woman lifting this weight did nothing wrong. She just, I mean, the only thing she did wrong was she lifted too much, and she didn't have a spotter. I'm not.
Hear about there?
Yeah, I read about there. It's funny too because it was a woman that helped her.
Yeah,
Good thing, because
ultimately.
look how close she had to get to her.
I know, right?
Yeah, imagine that if a
would've
man
been, like-
accidentally in some way touched her when he was doing that. We could be in
Bad
trouble.
news. Big trouble.
What do you think about that video in general?
Well, I don't know. I kind of agree with Lauren Chen's take that it could very well be just a product of this culture of women going to the gym and complaining about everything. They dress all skimpy and
Yeah,
wear super tight clothes. Like, it's actually a little bit creepy how tight the clothes that women wear in the gym these days is. Like,
well, it's only creepy if they're doing it in a way that they're not looking for that. They're looking for the attention, but then when you're giving them the attention,
no, I think it's just creepy that it's acceptable that it's like, I'm barely wearing any clothes at all, and the clothes that I'm wearing emphasize the aspects of my body that are like the most private,
yeah.
and that's acceptable. That to me is weird. It completely
I don't think
is
it's weird,
backwards.
but yeah, that's obviously that's a conservative approach on that.
Mhm.
But I don't really have that same approach. It's more so that
Well, and then the attitude is obviously inappropriate. That you're gonna like. I don't think it's appropriate to be dressed like that. Period. But then it's like, okay, you're gonna dress like that, but why are you acting like why are you pretending that people shouldn't look at you?
I
Like,
hate
you're dressing
yeah,
this like overly sexualized way.
yeah. It's the denial of it. It's
Yeah.
if you
And the idea that someone looking at you, right? Someone admiring your body. You're at the gym. You're
Yeah.
working on your body,
Isn't that what you're
and
going
someone
for?
admires your body. You're like, oh, yeah. In their mind, they're like, oh, good for her. She looks good,
Right.
right? So they want to look, especially men. Men are visually focused.
Yeah.
Like, it is nothing but a compliment.
Right.
But it's this desire to be a victim, this need to be for everything to be completely victimized, and
Well, there's two things going on here for me. It's like, okay, I think this video is kind of fake in a way. Like, I think she staged it. I think she's trying to get
Yeah,
in
so
on.
there's some interesting things. Yeah, like
Yeah.
she might have purposefully failed this set
Yeah,
to try and get somebody to come over and help her.
because she could have very easily just dropped those weights.
They're
If she's
meant,
holding it here, she could have just dropped them.
yeah.
So if she was panicked, she would have dropped them.
And there's no urgency in her voice
Right.
too, which is the other thing about it. That's like, okay,
Yeah, it's
are you really like? Are we really supposed to expect that you're looking for help when you're just kind of casually sitting there? People do weird things in the gym all the
Mhm.
time. Even if someone's looking over at her, in that squat position, and wondering, oh, what's she doing? Why is she like that? There's no urgency in her voice or anything, so people aren't necessarily going to look over there and be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
she needs help." You know, it is as a squat too. It's easy to drop those weights.
Mhm.
It's not like you're doing bench and the weights on top of you.
And those weights are made to drop.
Yeah,
Like those weights are that whole area of the gym is made for that. That's why I have
Yeah.
those extra mats. It's made so you drop them.
yeah,
They know people are going to do that because guys that are picking up 400 and 500 pounds, they're not going to just put it down nicely. You're actually supposed to just drop it because
yeah.
if you can hurt yourself on the awkward
It's much
bend
better
and-
that you drop the weight than hurt yourself. You know,
right.
if you accidentally overextend or something. But
Yeah. But again, what I hate, it's funny because we were talking about this earlier, but when you look at her pants, it looks like she's wearing no pants right there.
Mhm.
Like it looks like she's naked below the whatever the top there. So okay, and
that's the thing about this trend. So like, let's
and obviously, but this video here though, it's nothing about that. It's nothing
No.
about the about her what she's wearing or any of that kind of stuff. But it's that whole idea that we're going to wear these kinds of things,
Yeah.
but you're not allowed
Well,
to look.
yeah. There was this
Here's the
girl
one.
going around.
Yeah.
You know, you see the way she's dressed, and her whole thing was, you know, all these weirdos in the gym are looking at me. You know, she's got an interesting quote in this article. Let's see here. This guy kept making me extremely uncomfortable at the gym. This is why I'll end up crying on stream because I feel so grossed out at times with the amount of sexualization I experience. Hopefully, this spreads awareness for girls who experience this type of treatment at the gym. So, very easy way to not. First off, this particular girl in this video, this is just insane. Like, no one does anything wrong, anywhere close to anything wrong. But secondly, if you don't want to be overly sexualized, maybe wear clothes. Like, wear clothes.
Yeah.
Don't wear whatever you're wearing. Wear clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've said. I've had these
But-
conversations with people a number of times when they're wearing those kinds of clothes and they go, I don't want people to look at me. Yes, you do. There were girls at the gym today that were wearing very baggy, like jogging type pants,
Yeah.
like to work out. Clearly, those girls can make the argument, I don't want anybody looking at me. And you would say, yeah, I can understand that. But
And then this girl in particular,
yeah.
she's posting pictures like this online. These pictures are sexualized pictures. Like you're showing off.
And those
You're
aren't even
taking a
the
picture
worst.
of your butt.
Keep going.
No, there's more.
There you go.
There's this. This is how she appears on her live stream. So obviously, you know what she's doing. And then furthermore, she's got a what is it called?
It's like an OnlyFans, but it's something
Yeah, but what
else.
was it called?
It says right there. Fan house.
Fan house.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah. So you have a real problem with people looking
you have
at
a problem with people sexualizing you. Like, no, this girl's looking for attention, but this is like a trend that has been happening.
Well, it's the zero accountability. People are just full of shit now.
Yeah.
Just say something.
Now,
It doesn't.
this girl did get reamed out
Oh
online.
yeah, I love it. I love that she did. Good. It's like a spanking.
But-
she got a
Yeah,
a
she
viral
probably
spanking.
liked that.
Yeah, she probably did actually. Yeah. Maybe she was doing it for the spanking.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. I hate this trend. I hate this whole thing of people videotaping at the gym, and then they get mad at people for walking in their shot, or they,
Yeah.
they expect that they're supposed to have.
Like they get special treatment
Yeah.
because they're trying to
The
film
fuck
themselves.
are you?
It's like, no, if you want to film yourself, I don't care, right? Like you do whatever you want. But the second that you're going to try and say that like other people have to now kind of
I'll tell you
change
what.
the way that they're going to act.
That'd be
for
a
that,
fight. If
Yeah.
somebody at the gym did that, if some dude, it'd have to be a dude. This chick, I'd just call her an idiot.
right?
But if that were a dude and he did something like that, and I'm like, I get in his shot or something, and he goes, "Oh, you're giving me my shot." I look at him and go, "You're lucky I don't smash your fucking phone. Like this isn't your studio, asshole. This is a gym. I pay to use the gym too, and I would just go in a shot just to be a dick. I'd go in a
Right.
shot more after that. I'd be like, fuck you, man. Like I hate people think they have some kind of like they have the right
They deserve special treatment.
or deserve special treatment in any way to do that. It's infuriating to me. But it's this whole new thing we have with people that are because now we have social media influencers or
Mhm.
self-proclaimed anyway. So I need content. Oh, you need content
Yeah.
at the gym. Fuck off. Go set up content at your house then.
I don't care if people are doing it. right?
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
just
Right.
don't expect other people to change how they act
Exactly.
for you.
Exactly.
You know,
If you're
like
quietly doing it, cool. I
yeah.
like it's
There's been a lot of videos going around of people who are filming themselves lifting or whatever,
yeah.
and someone walks through the shot. There was a video. It was kind of wholesome because it was like this group of kids, young kids, probably not more than 13 or 14 years old, walked in front of this guy's camera, and they like realized it, and they're like, oh no, and they pulled like their friend out of it. Oh, he's filming or whatever. And then when the guy was done his weights, they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we walked through your shot here." And he's like, don't worry about my shot. Don't worry about me. You
Yeah, yeah.
do your thing."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and it's like, oh,
See? There you go.
one is like, oh, they kind of felt bad for it, and so they were like trying to let him know in case maybe he wanted to get another shot or
Yeah.
whatever. And two, the guy's like, what?
Exactly.
Right? I didn't, I'm not trying to interfere with you. I'm just,
Yeah. And that's just being polite. Like
Yeah.
so another example, if I were to walk through a guy's shot and I saw it, I'd react the same way. I'd be like, "Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to get in your
Yeah.
camera." Because I'm a polite person that
Yeah.
way. But if I did
But
that,
if you
and didn't
expect me
realize it.
to not do that,
Right.
it's like that's
you,
far.
You know.
That's going a little far.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off about it. It's just
Yeah.
people that have this I don't know, it's this ego that I'm so important that you need to not affect my shit. Well, you
Yeah.
need to not affect my shit too, buddy. I'm just
Yeah.
coming to the gym.
Exactly.
And so yeah, I mean, as far as the whole idea that this is going to screw up men from like helping women or that kind of stuff at the gym, I don't know about that necessarily.
Well, like everything, like
I think it'll phase out. I think the more we point out how stupid it is, it'll phase out.
yeah, like everything, like the Me Too stuff and all that. But it completely discourages men from doing that. Like it is an incentive not to. It's an incentive to just wipe your hands clean of the situation.
Yeah. I have to admit though too, going to the gym, that I will, if I see an attractive woman and she's like dressed, very provocatively that way for the
Right.
gym, and I catch myself, I look, and I'm like very cognizant of the idea that I've looked. So now I'm doing everything I can to not look at her.
Oh, I
Or
don't
even
even
look-
do that.
I do that.
I just
now.
look. Like I don't stare, but I'll look.
No, now
I'll look
so,
over and be like, oh, she's cute. Okay.
so now I'll actually, like, if I see that or whatever, like I'll kind of like try to make sure that my eyes aren't catching her in a mirror so she
Mm.
can see me catching her. So I see myself
Mhm.
adjusting a little to the
Yeah, I don't even do that. I just look. I just like obviously I don't just like turn and like
You don't
stare
leer.
and like watch her do her set or whatever. But like I'll like the girl catches my eye, I'm gonna look like, oh, okay.
And what's your excuse for leering at me?
Well,
You're always leering at me.
obviously.
Yeah. I'm not even wearing the tightest stuff that I could wear.
We know that.
I could do a little better. So. All right. Well, I mean, I think we've probably killed that topic, so we could probably move on to the next one. This one's a little scarier.
Yeah, this
Isn't as light of a thing. This has a lot of other implications to it, more so than somebody's feelings being a little hurt at the gym or or on social
Uh-huh.
media or whatever. But yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
yeah, this is I guess a Chinese balloon over Montana.
A balloon. It's a weather balloon.
And
Yeah.
Pentagon saying, yeah, China's trying to say it's like a civilian weather balloon or like a civilian data gathering thing that got blown off course and ended up in Montana. But it just happens to be that Montana is coincidentally like where I think it's the where most of the ICBMs that are within range of China are, but also like it's just a huge like I forget who was talking about it. It might have been Jack Posobiec on Timcast, where he was mentioning like if a nuclear war broke out, where would you want to be? He's like Montana because that's where most of the warheads are. So like that's where they're all going to be firing from, where you get the most defense, and obviously they're defended, right?
Yeah.
So it just accidentally wandered over that particular area of the
And
United
weird.
States.
Where'd you launch it from?
Well, that's
That's what I mean. Like that's a
point that I
long
wanted
travel
to get into.
from mainland
Yeah,
China.
it's not, it's not impossible to do, but
I know, but I'm saying, but okay, so you lose track of that balloon. how long did you lose track of it for, and it just happened to wander over
Well, I mean
Montana?
come on, it's obviously there on purpose.
Of course, that's what I mean. But it's
but
like
what I
you're stupid
wonder,
enough to believe it.
I wonder if it might have been launched from the ground, maybe in Canada. They say that they were tracking it through Canada,
Mm,
so like because we know that China is here.
yeah,
And
Trudeau's a big
they're in the
sympathizer.
States.
So
Like they've infiltrated everything, so
Mhm.
they're around. So I wonder if they launched it from the ground, maybe at night, when low visibility, you don't got a lot of lights on there or anything. Send it up there and get it over to where they want it to be.
Mhm.
There's some interesting points about this too. They say that China's getting very aggressive with Taiwan lately, like very aggressive. So it's almost like this is just they're testing the United States. They're probably A, trying to get data, but B, they're like, okay, well, we can't actually covertly get this data, so we're gonna do this kind of thing, and then we're gonna see what they do,
Mhm.
what they tolerate, and how they respond to it, and what bullshit they'll accept as an excuse.
Let's be real. They've never. This is the most opportune time they're ever going to have.
Yeah,
They've never had a more sympathetic government in the West
yeah.
than they do right now. Right?
But a part of
So
this is just like it could very well be that they're trying to gather data on where things are,
yeah,
um, response times, what the certain actions, because maybe they're planning to do something soon. So it's just like fuck it, let's get some information so that we can be in the best position possible. In a month when we invade or do something.
Taiwan, you mean, or
Taiwan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what China's play would be with Taiwan right now because Biden said he wasn't going to do anything. At first, he said like he's been all
Biden
over.
said they would. The
They
White
said they
House said
would,
they
and the
wouldn't.
White House said they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So clearly, they're not because Biden's not in control. So they wouldn't if they wouldn't do anything about it. What's holding China back right now? Is it that they're mobilizing for war? Are they afraid that Taiwan might actually pose some type
Well,
of
I think it
military
is.
threat?
I think it is sort of unclear,
Yeah.
because the White House didn't say that they would do nothing. It was just the um, the matter of fact statement that they would. They didn't want that to be an official statement.
They could be waiting also for the Russia conflict to heat up a little more to cause distraction, kind of like they did with
Yeah.
COVID when they
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
annexed Taiwan or Hong Kong. They just used COVID as a screen, right?
Yeah.
So that could be something as well.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's scary to think. It's scary to think about the capabilities they have, and that they're quiet. They're not really saying much, which makes it
Yeah.
scarier. Makes it more
And they're doing stuff like this.
right. It's like it's a
You're
cold
getting-
like the U.S. is in a cold war with China. I mean, they've been now for years now since Trump.
Yeah.
So it's when cold wars start to heat up that you get scared, right? Like this is an incident that could escalate something.
Mhm.
I don't think it will with this government because I don't think they have the wherewithal or the motivation to do anything against China at this point. Like I think, yeah, I honestly don't know. Like
It's a
I
tough
say,
one.
I think I don't know what the play is because I don't know if the U.S.
It really
if the
just
whole-
seems that we're just inching towards a global conflict.
it does.
Certain groups, maybe all of them, are trying to delay what's inevitable, but like I don't know that there's a way out. Right?
China
Like,
might sit back and say, you know what, let's just let the fog of war settle, and then we'll step in and take over as the global currency. Is this and that? You
well,
know what
they
I
are
mean?
trying to do that,
Of course,
but
yeah,
they're in a basically collapsing right now, so they might not have much time to do much of anything. Xi Jinping said they're going to take Taiwan. Like that's one of his things for his administration. They're going to take back Taiwan.
Mhm.
So it feels like it's just a matter of time before they do that. That disrupts a lot of shit, and the United States probably has to step in. NATO probably has to step in. What does that do in the war in Ukraine, which NATO has already stepped in, which is basically just a hot war between NATO and Russia at this point, even though it's not really official.
Right.
What happens there? Like, does that escalate? It keeps escalating, so maybe
Yeah.
it just rolls out of control, and then we
This
have a
is-
global conflict.
This is the frog in the water, in the boiling water, right?
Yeah.
It's because it just keeps escalating, just slowly. We just keep allowing it. Yeah. And we obviously don't have an active, the US doesn't have an active Congress to fight any of it. Like they're just, money's never been freer in the States at this point. The Pentagon can't even answer a $2 trillion deficit. So, it's like, it's monopoly money.
Just
at this
print more
point.
money. It is monopoly money.
Yeah.
Which is also scary. Like, maybe they're just robbing everyone, preparing for the World Economic Forum to take over, and then everyone's money's devalued. It doesn't matter if you have $10 million in the bank or $10 million in assets. It's not going to be worth fuck all in 20 years.
This is quite a rabbit hole, eh? It's quite a rabbit hole
Yeah.
you could just dive into with all this shit. There's so many players in it. It's very, very scary stuff. But it'll be interesting to see. I don't think anything's going to happen with this sort of incident with the balloon, but
Well, yeah, they're not going to do any. They should have shut it down, but
yeah. Who reported this, by the way?
well, I mean, everybody, but this particular article is Guardian.
Guardian. I'm just wondering if like CNN actually reported or anything like that.
Yes.
Was it? Yeah, on mainstream.
Yes.
Hmm.
Everyone, yeah, they were talking about it.
Every time they report something, I wonder why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's real news.
Everything seems to be narrative driven. And yeah, I do wonder, because they said that Biden wanted to shoot it down and they talked him out of it. I was saying earlier, I wonder if China's infiltration into the U.S. government had something to do with that. They had people in the right places to kind of influence them to not shoot it down.
Yeah.
Because maybe if they shot it down, they'd see what it was, because they'd be able to go and get it and see what was in it and what it was doing, and they'd be like, "Oh shit!"
Or they could be slowly trying to get foster support for some type of war against China. Who knows? You know what? These are games played at some high levels on some really strange Risk. There's a homage to the old game Risk on a Risk board right now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they're doing. They've just got a Risk board set up, and they're like, okay, I'm taking over Ukraine. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, I've got a bunch of forces here. I'm going to move them in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever played Risk? No? Oh, shit, it's fun. It's a fun game. But, yeah, it's kind of like the game of Risk at this point.
House of Cards.
Yeah, House of Cards. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
It was good. Too bad. What's his face?
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey turned out
raped
to
some
be a
dudes.
toucher. He liked to touch
A little touchy.
the young penises. Touch a penis. All right. Well, hey, that's probably a pretty good segue into the next thing we're going to talk about, because we're staying on the politics end of it. It can't be a podcast without Donald Trump.
Yeah, Trump.
Trump's always around. He's always going to be around until he's dead. He's going to be here forever. This one's weird because if you know anything about the Republican Party and some of the dissension that goes on in that, then you'll know that Lindsey Graham has never really been a proponent of Trump. He's trying to play like he is now. He's like a little weasel, a little snake in the grass behind his back, always, against his policies, against like the border wall. He was against that. He's been against pretty much anything that's been that Trump has been pushing, and he's not been quiet about it. But suddenly now he's backing Trump. So let's go ahead and play this video, and we'll kind of talk about what he's saying here and go into that a little bit.
All right, so this is, I guess, Lindsey Graham speaking in support of Trump.
I'm curious to listen what you think of what Senator Lindsey
I guess
Graham said
it's
last night, because he was asked
CNN's
about
reaction too.
the
It's kinda
possibility
funny.
of other Republicans getting in the race. He said he's still betting on Trump.
To all these people who are very talented, I don't think you could do what he did, and I want him to have another shot. Unfinished business. We need to get ready for a real spirited contest. Now, why Trump? Now, you mentioned like DeSantis. If you try to tell me that Ron DeSantis is not a good governor in Florida, I'm not going to listen to you. If you try to tell me Mike Pompeo is not qualified to be president, I'm not going to listen to you because I think he is. I am for Trump, not because of the flaws of anybody else. I'm for Donald Trump because I know what I'm going to get.
Oh, Lindsay, I know what I'm going to get. Does he mean insurrection, trying to overthrow American democracy?
Yeah, because that happened, right?
Listen, there's some core supporters of his who are always going to be with him, but I do think there's going to be a contest. How big it is, unclear. There are people who are going to put their names in the ring. Listen, if you run as Trump light, this is my concern with DeSantis, who obviously polls the closest to Trump, is he kind of takes up all the oxygen in the room. You have to have a clearly defined lane. This is where some of the governors who are toying with running, an Asa Hutchinson, a Youngkin, a Sununu, I think have a more clear path. They have their own record and their own vision to run on. But again, I caution against the giant field that we saw in 2016 that just cleared the way for Donald Trump.
I don't disagree with what she just said there. That last
The College Board has released
15 seconds of her diatribe there.
Right.
I do agree with that because he does steal the air in the room, Trump. But I have a sneaking suspicion this whole thing, I was already talking about this, is the establishment's way, and I say establishment, and I put Lindsey Graham and these clowns in the mix, their way of getting Trump to get the nomination because they think that he can be beat. They think if DeSantis, a fresh face with the same sort of ideas that Trump has, but a little bit more refined, gets in there, then he'll
More
have a really
official
good,
appearing.
he'll have a really good shot of winning, and they don't feel like they can beat him. So if they go ahead and back him, even these phonies back him, then they get the guy in there that they want, that they think they can beat.
Yeah, it could very well be. Kind of could also be trying to split the vote a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It's disingenuous at best.
yeah, Why is Lindsey Graham all of a sudden supporting Trump?
Yeah. And he speaks like a little snake oil salesman, right? When he talks, like, if you told me DeSantis isn't a good governor, I'm telling you you're wrong, like you're a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then why do you disagree with Trump's policies? What, you want to give him another shot? Like, get the fuck out of here! You're not kidding anybody with this shit.
Yeah.
Like, just because you throw a bunch of words out doesn't mean we're stupid enough to listen and agree with.
Yeah, you might just kind of think that there's no other options or no other way.
Yeah.
But maybe he does think that Trump has the best chance of winning, and he's trying to get a position,
Could be
a certain position.
It could be that, but I don't know him. I wouldn't think that would be it, because he's a career
He's
politician.
an establishment guy.
Yeah, exactly, and he's got so many ties to like the military-industrial complex. He probably owes so many damn favors to so many people in that sphere
It's true he can't get out.
that there's nothing.
So that I think that bodes to the idea that maybe he's just trying to get into a certain position. He thinks that the most likely outcome of the 2024 election is Trump wins, and then if he can get into a certain position, then he can do good
Maybe.
by those that he's indebted to.
Maybe, but also if it's the other way, what I'm saying, and he thinks, and he's been told, because I think he's just a puppet, he's
Mhm.
been told to help Trump get elected because they think Trump won't get elected, has no shot,
Yeah.
because they might have some other people they're going to put in. I don't know if we want to talk about our idea of what might be happening. Did you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about it later as far as?
Yeah, we don't have a separate
Oh, okay.
to talk about it, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I was talking about this before. I had a sneaky suspicion, I'm sure a lot of people have this as well, that Michelle Obama is going to be the
Yeah, they could be opening that up.
right.
And Obama might beat Trump
I think she would.
just by name,
I think she would.
which I think is, wrong. But
Yeah, I think it's sad that she would, but I would believe that she definitely could. I think
Yeah.
she's the best candidate for the Democratic Party. just based on name alone.
Yeah, well, and they don't have anybody.
Yeah, they don't.
They've ousted everyone that would be good for them, like Tulsi Gabbard. Even though, like, I like Tulsi and I hate Bernie Sanders, but Bernie Sanders would be good for the Democrats. Like, he'd get a lot of votes from from people. Um, who
he gets
who
enough.
else? Who else was good? I think he might have had a shot.
Maybe.
He might have had a better shot
Then
than Hillary.
maybe. You don't know. I think.
But again, obviously, Hillary's already shot her shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
She's just proven not likable enough. The fact that she lost to Trump in that election, like literally, it
uh,
wasn't Trump that won. It was she lost, was it? Oh,
pull up to Mike. I guess you might be a little quiet, a little
can you
further
hear me?
away.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe you can turn it up.
That might just be too far away from it.
I wonder. I should be monitoring the sounds in there.
Yeah, unless it's just getting your mic. Which would be funny.
Well, I don't see either of the mics.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I can test it here.
yeah.
Sorry for technical difficulties in the meeting.
I wonder. I should be
I don't think my
better.
mic is on. Unless it's just getting your
No, it's on.
Oh yeah, it's
Like
just
as
a
far.
little.
It might.
I'll just talk closer. We'll fix it later.
Yeah, I wish I could. Like, it's not. It's not. You see, it's not doing
Yeah.
the thing, so we can't see how high it goes. You
Well,
might be able to
let's see.
just turn it up.
He's saying I'm just too far. We'll just try that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that, bud. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, so I think it would be yeah, Obama definitely. I think they had an interview with her just
You should
a
maybe
little bit
pull your
ago.
body close to the table,
They had a
and that way
video
you'll be
with her a
closer.
little
Yeah.
or a interview with her. I don't know, maybe a week ago or something like that, and they asked
He
her.
just launched a new podcast that they were saying on the news when I was
They asked
looking it
her
up.
point blank about Trump.
Yeah, and she was weird about it.
She was weird about it.
Yeah.
She was asked. Oh, sorry about Biden, not Trump. And she was asked if she thought he was doing a good job, and she said, "I think he's doing a good job under the circumstances." And then she was asked if she'd support him running again, and she paused for a while because
Yeah.
her little reptilian brain wanted to say, "No, I'm gonna run." Because the overlords have told me I'm the one that's going to be president of the humans the next
Right.
time. So yeah, so she was strange about it. So I think it's kind of ominous that she's going to be the one. Like it's an omen that she's going to run.
Um,
You fixing our?
I'm seeing if that. See, keep talking. See if that's better.
Yeah, what I think he's talking about. I'm being picked up from your mic. I'll bet.
Yeah, I know. I think I just fixed it,
Yeah. Okay.
but I don't know. So just maybe
Hey,
say words.
all right. Words, words, and words. All right, I'll say words. How about now? Words. More words. You fixing our? That sounds better.
Seeing if that.
There you go.
Yeah. How's this sound on your end? Or keep talking. See if that's better.
Yeah, what I think he's talking about. I'm being picked up from your mic. Okay.
Yeah.
Solved.
It just wasn't. It was not using your mic.
That's weird. Anyways, it's probably just trying to shut me up. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the alien or overlords.
I wonder if that was like that the whole time.
Yeah, probably. No worries.
Needs resistance. That's
Probably don't want to hear me anyway.
pretty much perfectly summed up the entire meaning behind.
Cool to see him be the one that says
No.
something like that. Oh,
It did that partial way through.
Oh, that's weird.
It sounds totally fine. Early on.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Either way, it's fixed.
good. We solved it.
I guess maybe we should just move on to the next thing because
Yeah.
we talked about that and then we got distracted by mic issues.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about Andrew Tate. We haven't heard about him in a little while. He's not really in the news lately too much either, which is a little bit funny. He was so much in the news, and then suddenly he wasn't really in the news, and now he's maybe back in there a little bit. This is the Daily Mail. I don't know how. I'm not sure how reputable the Daily Mail is, but
Okay, yeah. So Andrew Tate, we know he got arrested. Um, and then we haven't heard much from there. We know he was accused of human trafficking, and then they kept him in jail. And then recently, they ruled to continue to keep him in jail. Now, an interesting point that I heard brought up was that they haven't charged him with anything. They have no
No, they're
charges.
building it. They're building a case against him.
Yeah, but
That's
you're
they're doing it backwards.
usually you can't, you shouldn't, you're not supposed to hold people in jail without any charges.
Well,
Like
this
once
is
you have charges, you put them in
yeah,
jail.
this is a double-edged sword. So remember what he said about Romania? He said he likes it because they're laxed. Well, they're also lax the other way too, buddy.
Yeah, and that might be what's going on here
Double-edged
too.
sword, man.
The Matrix realized the Romanian officials are corrupted. They can just pay them off
Right.
to do this.
Right.
But this article came out the other day. Two women who denied being trafficked by Andrew Tate and his brother and insist they worked for him willingly are victims and have been brainwashed. Romanian judge rules. The two women did not recognize that they were being enslaved, the court ruled. A clinical psychologist report said they were left traumatized and exploited.
Well, that's say, like
It's crazy that they could just say that, right? Like,
you traumatize me all the time. So
well, okay, Archer said this is a witch hunt against him because he is labeled as a misogynist by the sensitivity police. I think it goes way deeper than that.
yeah,
I think he's really popular, and his message is that of encouraging masculinity.
yeah,
And they want to shut that right down.
yeah.
And that's why he's so popular.
Hey, honestly, I think it's all of it. But it's very easy to get him. He says some controversial shit. Some controversial shit comes out of his mouth, and when you take it out of context, especially, holy crap, he sounds awful. Like when they do these little sound clips of things he said. Fuck
Yeah, he says things bluntly in a way that
Yeah.
garner an emotional
and
response.
it'll get him in trouble. Yeah. So that's what so he's an easy target. You get a guy who's popular, but he's also an easy target. Yeah, shit, man.
Yeah, but I
Take him
think
down.
this article just sums it up. It's plain an attack. It's a Matrix attack on him.
Thanks, sir.
He
He said that was a high level summation.
yeah.
Thank you.
He like you're accused of a crime.
Mhm.
Someone who was there, two people who were there, come out and say that didn't happen. That this person never committed that crime, and they say, "Nah, you're brainwashed. You're wrong."
Mhm.
What?
Well, you're
Because right? There were two women coming out and saying, "Yeah, we were there. We were held against our will. We were exploited. We were scared. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if we could go to anybody or if we could have any help." You know that would be everywhere,
Mhm.
right? That would be proof. Andrew Tate, he's guilty. Horrible person. Blah blah. Human trafficker. But the opposite happens, and it's like, well, nope, still proof that he's the bad person, human trafficker.
Well, that just goes to show you that there's no amount of money that's going to save you in that kind of a corrupt system. So you can have all the lawyers you want. How are you going to fight it? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? So at what point does he sort of tap out? At what point does he say, okay, enough. I won't say shit. I'll take my near $1 billion and I'll go fuck off. I'll go to an island in
That's
Abu
his
Dhabi or
net
something.
worth. If they take away his companies, he doesn't have that.
Whatever. But I'm saying, he's got enough money to be fine.
Yes.
So he goes, I'll take my money. I'll fuck off. You won't hear from me anymore. Don't kill me and don't put me in jail.
Yeah.
Because I think worse for a guy like him would be going to jail because they'll make his life fucking hell in there. They'll just put people in there. They'll put plants in there to fuck them up.
Allegedly, it's already pretty bad where they have him in the Romanian prison. But I don't know. I think they might be trying to kill him.
Yeah, maybe. And that's what I mean. So it's like, do you think at this point he's got any redemption with the overlords? Do you think they would say, all right, look, we'll let you slide on this shit if you fuck off? Or are they just going to kill him?
It works like that. Because, I don't know, he's too popular.
Yeah, but...
Right? So,
look what they did to Epstein.
Can Andrew Tate drop off the face of the earth? And he might just have to be killed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody can. Anybody can. I mean, look how popular and how out there Snowden was. And then he just fucked off to Russia, and you didn't really hear from him for a while. So if you need to, you can
Yeah, but
fuck
everybody
off.
knew where he
I
was,
know, but
and he
he
wasn't.
shut up. He didn't say shit say shit with a mouthful for a while because he was scared. He
Well,
wanted to
yeah.
make sure he was okay. You're going against the U.S. government. They can find you there.
Well,
Like you can't hide from them. Like how silly is that?
Yeah.
For him to think he can hide, they let him hide. Like they probably knew exactly where he was at every moment, and they went fuck around and find out. We're not dealing with like people think that laws and shit are in play. No, those aren't in play. Not at this high level.
it's
No.
it's wild. You find out the stuff that was going on Epstein Island.
Yeah, these are
It's a different class of people.
well, these are people that are in bed with the type of people that can just make people disappear.
The lizard people
Yeah,
who
it's like
control everything.
I don't care how famous you are. You're in a he was in a private jet. We shot him down. But you don't say we shot him down. We just his private jet went down.
Yeah. The problem you want to be concerned about is public outrage, right? You don't want to. You want to do it in a way that people don't necessarily. They can't really connect the dots. Say, "Oh, this is for sure."
Well,
the
look
same.
at Epstein.
But-
You think there would have been a
Yeah.
ton of public outrage about that?
But Epstein isn't an Andrew Tate. Epstein's not like a hyper famous figure. He's kind of someone that was in the background of things.
Yeah,
You could have known who he was, sure, but he wasn't. He's not an Andrew Tate in terms of like the name recognition.
I don't think you'd see, but I don't. I don't
But there
think we
should
have
been,
enough.
like that's the other weird thing. There should have been a lot more about Epstein because it's like here's this guy, he's head of this fucking ring, and then he's being charged, and there are these names. All these famous people are implicated. All these victims have come out, and then it's just like done.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Like as
And
if
stop
that
talking
guy,
about it. The mainstream pretends that he committed suicide.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
as if that guy with the money and people that he had play with, we'll say, killed himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he probably thought he had enough people in his pocket that he could call favors and he was going to get out of that.
Yeah.
So there's no way he killed himself. He was just sitting there waiting and got surprised by a couple guys that choked him to death.
Some people are like, no, this is too close.
Yeah,
It's too publicized. You gotta go.
yeah. So,
But then we don't get any information about the bulk of clients, about people who have who were on the island, flying in the plane, all that. None of it.
if
It's all secret.
with Tate, if you you do all this shit like they're doing now. Again, I don't really have I gotta be honest with this. I don't really have a dog in the race or a horse in the race or whatever you want to say. With Tate, I like things he says. Certain things I don't agree with that he says. Overall, I kind of like him. Like I would say, I like him because I think he says more good than bad. But it's if they say a bunch of shit about him, and I think some of it, like there might be some that's got like a glimmer of truth, with some of the things that he said versus, maybe he was a bit of a fuck with some of the girls that worked for him on the cams and stuff like that. I don't think he's necessarily,
Maybe, but I think if there was a legitimate case, there'd already be charges.
yeah.
I
There's
think
the one girl
I
that,
think they're like grasping now.
yeah, there was apparently this one girl that was like, that he was talking about her, that she was one of his high level earners, and she wanted to leave, and I forget, she wanted her money, and he told her to go fuck herself, sort of thing. But she was earning like 25 grand a month for him or something. This is from his own words, right? And he said, I had to let the other girls know this wasn't acceptable, so I told her to fuck off. And then when she wanted her money, I said, fuck you, basically, right? So yeah, do I think he's like the best guy? Not necessarily, but I think he stands for a lot of good things that I think you could pull from that.
Right.
So I don't know, but if they were to put all this shit, slew all this shit on him, and some of it sticks, he'll lose a lot of support. Like
If it sticks,
yeah,
I don't know. That his support is weird. It's one of those instances of there's just going to be a huge percentage of people that don't think there's any legitimacy to any of it.
mhm.
You know,
Well, I'm one of them because I don't think there's a legitimacy to a lot of it.
especially at this point.
Yeah.
Especially at this point, you'd have expected charges
Mm.
more. Like there were victims that came out, like, but they remained completely anonymous.
The idea,
None of them have come public
the
with who
idea that
they
you're
are.
going to build a case after the fact,
Yeah.
that's not how you fucking do it.
Yeah.
In what world is that the way you do it? Oh yeah, we suspect that you probably committed a crime.
Yeah.
I'd like if they did that a lot of the time. Imagine how many fucking lives they could have saved from like um, mass killer or what do you call it? Or serial killers and shit. They suspected so many different serial killers before anything, like before they were able to build a case against them. They could have saved lives that way. So yeah, you know what? Take the fucker off the street if you have like a lot of uh, circumstantial evidence to point at them doing something. But don't go, okay, well, we heard a couple things you said, so we're going to take you in custody now, and then we're going to go and find the rest of it.
Right.
You know, like if 4 or 5, 6 women came out and said, "Hey, this fucker is doing this shit." Okay, cool. Take him off the street, put him in detention, and figure it out. But nobody said shit. You know what? I don't even know what was the original allegation. I've never even heard it.
Human trap or for
No, but I'm saying, was there like 1 or 2 people that actually came out and alleged this, or
there
was it?
there are I don't know that the investigation was sprung by allegations, but pretty much right away there were at least two anonymous
Anonymous?
people. Yeah, completely anonymous.
Can't be fucking anonymous.
They don't exactly. That's the bit, and they
That's
haven't come
bullshit.
out. None of them have come out. They're completely anonymous. I think actually there was one person who was anonymous who did eventually come out and say, "Yeah, it's bullshit."
Yeah.
So that is evidence in the contrary. And then there was this Eliza Blue. Have you seen any of that stuff? She was a part of it, and now I don't know the full details of the story, so I
Oh,
don't
was
want
that
to
the
say
one that
too
went
much.
missing?
But
Like that fucked off sort of thing? Like she.
no,
Oh, okay. I heard there was
she
one.
no. So her story is that she was a survivor of human trafficking. Like
Oh.
she got out at one point, and now she kind of does stuff uh, for people who are involved in it. And she was through her organization. These two anonymous people were taking legal action. But since then, there's been a lot of stuff about her that has come out that's kind of been dragging her name a little bit. That suggests that she might not be being completely honest about everything. And
Yeah. I don't know, man. It just shakes your whole foundation on what to believe.
yeah,
You know, you're taking a really hot topic of human trafficking or sex trafficking, and you're throwing that in the mix. That's not. These are like things that you shouldn't fuck around. It'd be like calling somebody a pedophile without any proof or
Yeah.
anything. Like you don't do that. These are strong allegations can really fuck somebody up.
yeah,
You know, saying somebody triggered you, or they said they used my pronouns wrong. That's small balls bullshit. Go ahead and say that all you want.
yeah.
You know, or you're a racist, or you're a fascist, or you're a Nazi. You can use all those stupid terms all you want because they don't mean anything anymore. Nobody's listening to
Yeah,
that garbage.
exactly.
But well, I wish him luck. I hope I don't know. I hope something comes out and like the
Hopefully-
truth comes out at least.
Hopefully he wins.
Or well, I don't care whether he wins or not. I just hope
Yeah.
the truth comes out.
Yeah, I
The
consider
actual-
that winning.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we can.
Well, one more thing we can
Yeah.
bring up here. Real quick. So we have a new photo of a UFO released by Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. I think they're in cahoots in their business. So this is the photo right here. You can make of it what it seems like a pretty much perfectly spherical metal ball thing. And
That's a large marble.
Yeah, big marble in the sky. And I guess it was flying kind of in tandem with the drone, and that's where the picture's from. And this is over Iraq, in Mosul, Iraq, in 2016. Which is the other interesting thing
Yeah.
about all these UFO sightings. There seem to be a high concentration of them over conflict areas.
Well, that would make sense
Yeah.
for like, I mean, you wouldn't think necessarily you'd see them over, a city that, like Toronto or something,
Oh, there's
Calgary or.
Lake Ontario and Lake Erie are hotspots too.
Well, the lakes themselves, maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
just like over the lake.
Yeah,
so
you could just be out. Who knows? Maybe they're parked in the water.
probably not in the lakes, but yeah,
Why not?
in the oceans.
Lakes go
I feel
deep
like it's
enough.
too.
Holy shit, man! Some of these lakes go
Yeah, but
quite
I think
deep.
they're mapped. I think you have them mapped. You can map them, so it'd be easy to detect, unless it's underground, even further, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah,
But they could just go into the ocean where it's like super deep, especially if these things fly like that,
yeah.
Um,
It would depend on how fast they get around, and
which we know is very fast because they
Yeah.
disappear and they. What was the Fravor one?
Oh god,
Was I think it's
they couldn't measure.
it was like above the atmosphere
Yeah,
to like 1 foot above the ground in less than a second, because that's the as the radar detects it's 1 second
Right.
pulses, and so it would have the speed is insane for it to
Yeah.
have done that, and then it was zipping around and just keeping speed with fighter jets and doing whatever it wants.
would that
And
be?
there are other stories like
Would that be basically the speed of light, or very close to?
Uh,
How far up
it
is
depends. It depends
atmosphere
on
is
the
what?
exact.
How far up?
Yeah, it depends because it's very gradual. Like technically, it goes out past the moon, but you're in orbit. I think you're good around a little over 100 kilometers, probably 150. I know the ISS is around 400, and it needs to do corrections from time to time because of the atmospheric drag. Even though it's minimal, it still every now and then needs to do a little boost.
How do you know this shit?
I know things.
How do you know this shit? You
I'm
fucking
a
nerd.
space nerd.
You're a nerd.
I'm a nerd.
I like to think I'm a bit of a space nerd, but I don't know these kinds of things. I know more about like other planets and stuff. Well, a little bit, but
Yeah.
not.
So I don't know if it would be the speed of light, but some of these things, like when they are observed just disappearing, like I mean, from our perspective, they might just be traveling at the speed or faster, like using wormholes. There was, I should have pulled this up because this was recent too. There was it's not very detailed, but there was this footage of something that they're speculating could be some kind of wormhole or like a disruption in the atmosphere caused by a wormhole.
Right.
And it was just like a little video of some weird little thing, and so maybe that's how these things are moving around.
Temporal shifting.
That would be time
Mm-hmm.
travel.
Yep.
That's another possibility. I don't know. These things are out there.
Mm.
They're moving around. And we don't know what they are, where they come from, or what their purpose is, and it's kind of freaky, but it's cool.
Well, let's put this out there. If you're out there, aliens, come talk to us. We'd like to see you. We'd like to have you on the podcast. Your secret's safe with us. We'll just call you.
We won't tell anybody.
We'll call you John. This is our buddy John who wants to talk to you about space things.
I mean, time travel is a leading theory.
Yeah.
People from the future.
Well, it would make sense if they could, if they're not necessarily moving around, but they're like they're just traveling from point to point. That's why they could just do it that quickly, right?
Yeah, that's wormhole. That wouldn't be time, but that
No,
would
but
be
I'm saying-
that would be manipulating space. Space time as.
But yes, it would be time too. It could be time
Well,
as
no,
well.
because the entire fabric is called space time. So if you bend, you're not traveling through time. If you bend the table to go from this point to that point instantly, which it would be what that is, but then time travel would be if maybe it appeared that you went from this point to that point instantly because you traveled from this point to that point and then went back in time or something like that. But
This is make my head hurt.
yeah, time travel.
Time travel makes my head hurt.
Maybe. Who the hell knows?
Yeah. Well,
I want to know what these things are and how they work. That's
Yeah.
it.
well, I'm gonna do a little more research on this because that's kind of interesting.
It's just the latest. I think the latest thing. From
Yeah.
Corbell.
Yeah.
The orb.
Well, I'm definitely interested, so we'll have to take a look.
Yeah.
A little more talk about it on a future podcast.
Yes.
For now, we'll call that we'll call it her.
Call it her.
Thanks for tuning in, especially you, Art, for helping us fix
Especially
the
letting
mic.
us know that the mic was. It broke. It wasn't broken the whole time, so that's weird.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
That's weird, and we gotta figure out why that was.
As always, like, subscribe, comment on our podcasts and our videos. We love the comments. We will respond. We love responding. That's what we're doing this for, right? We're doing this for engagement and conversation.
Trying
we want
to transcend the monkey.
Yeah, we want to have. That's why.
As Joe Rogan so elegantly put it.
Okay, right. That's why we're watching CNN news broadcasts. We want to get all sides of the perspective. So if you disagree with us, please, by all means, let us know what you disagree with. We'll discuss it. We might even talk to you on the show. If you want to get on the live feed of the show, you can. We definitely will talk to you there because we like to talk to all of our live feed.
We want to talk to people that disagree with us.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
That would be awesome.
What you can't disagree with is that right behind me. So that's
No,
amazing.
you're not allowed to disagree with that.
You see that? I made that. That's with whiteboard marker.
See, they thought, oh, he probably has, like a 5-year-old kid that drew that. No, it's so cute.
No, they didn't.
Now you just ruined it.
No, they didn't.
Now
think
you
that.
just ruined it.
They probably thought that I had that made specifically. YouTube sent
By
us
a
that.
professional.
That was
They
professional.
definitely thought YouTube sent that.
Listen, don't shit on my subscribe button back there. Just press it. All right. Yeah, we'll see you next Friday, 7:00 sharp. Tune in for the next one. Thanks for
That's
watching,
right.
everybody.
Peace.